What's up, y'all? It's your girl Chanel from Complex Simplicity. Happy Tuesday. Happy May 1st. I can't believe Cinco de Mayo is in a few days. A great holiday to get your buzz on. It's been a few days, so I have to do my weekly check-in with you. So this vlog tonight will be more so about my random thoughts. If you are an avid Complex Simplicity viewer, you know that I tend to do this when I feel like there's so many different things that I would like to talk about and I can't necessarily wrap it under one or wrap it with one particular Tiffany blue bow, so to speak. And there's just so much going on in pop culture. Anyone who knows me personally knows I pretty much keep up with the pop culture and what's going on and who's who and with music and all of that jazz. First things first, I want to shout out the lovely ladies of The Real. They won an Emmy the other night, which I think is amazing and do. I think that they put in some work for the past several years and it's paying off. As most of you may know, they started off being a panel of 5 where it was not only Adrian Houghton, Lonnie Love, Jeannie Mai, and Tamara Mowry Housley. They also had Tamar Braxton in the mix. And, she helped with the grinding and laying of the foundation maybe for the first few seasons, but she hasn't been on for like the last 2 or 3 seasons, and to still see how this show has survived and to me superseded what they were doing when she was on the show. No diss or no hate to her. I'm not about tearing people down regardless of what my personal feelings may be. I've probably said this before. I struggle with fully understanding and being able to support Tamar with certain things because I just don't always like how she treats people or how she's portrayed in treating people, and just don't always like how she moves, but that's not to tear her down. She's definitely a very talented singer, and she has one of those huge personalities that can be infectious. She's hella funny, but there are other things there that I would struggle with. When I look at celebrities, I kind of think of them as Wendy Williams says, as friends in my head, right? So the celebrities that I'm drawn to or who I support, I kind of look to them also. Once you get past the whole hoopla, I look at them and their behaviors as they're normal people, as they are, and how I would feel if they were my friends or we were in a friendship. And with Tamar, if we were in a friendship, I don't think that friendship would last the test of time or go the distance for many reasons, right? But I digress. So pretty much she was there to help them lay the foundational bricks, and she is added to the show initially, but I have to say these ladies have taken it to the next level. Many people, I think many of Tamar Braxton's fans thought that this show wasn't going to survive without her, and to be honest, this show has surpassed and continue to thrive and do well, and to the point where these women have won an Emmy, which is a huge thing. It's like the Grammys, the Oscars of like daytime television. And so they were against the likes of The Talk and The View and, big time shows that have been up and running for a very long time. They referred to themselves as the little show that could. And it's funny because I refer to my website and my movement as like the little vlog movement that could, but you'll be surprised. You continue laying down them bricks of work and that sturdy foundation and sticking to it and doing you and working hard, you'd be surprised how far you can come. So I had to start this off by saying salute to the ladies of The Real on their Emmy nominations and on their Emmy win. They looked gorgeous. They looked beautiful that night. I loved how the next day they broke night and they stayed in their clothes, their gowns, makeup, everything from the night before. That was their promise that if they won, that they were going to show up in the same gowns and everything, break night, don't even shower, none of that, just straight up and down do the show. And they stuck to that, and I think that was pretty dope and unique and cute. So shout outs to them. What else do I want to talk about? Y'all, this stuff going on with Kanye, listen. I've always kind of put it out there. The industry is not what it's cracked up to be, y'all. A lot of it is smoke and mirrors. A lot of these huge stars that we all know and love are a part of, as I would like to frame it, the Matrix. And I don't believe that their agendas and that the messages that they're supposed to be spreading is supposed to be wrapped in love, light, positivity, and all things godly. I'll put it that way. I actually think Hollywood, the entertainment business, the industry, whether you're a rapper, singer, actor, actress, producer, people behind the scenes, whatever may have you. I'm not saying everyone in the entertainment world, but I will say those who have made it pretty big, who are in like the serious $1 million club, $20 million club, I believe they're part of the elite, a whole other world that more so is dark, y'all. And I'm not gonna dig too deep, as I always say, but I welcome you to do your own research and formulate your own perspective on this. And what I will say is what Kanye is talking about, I believe he's perpetuating whatever crazy messages he's being told to in some ways. And I also do believe that it is a ploy for him to sell his upcoming album and all these other projects he's producing. He's producing Pusha T's project, you know, he's produced Tiana Taylor's project that's coming out soon, all these June albums. They're saying he even is working on Nas's album. Some people feel like that'll never come to fruition. Some people feel like it will, meaning that that album will never drop in the time frame he's saying. Some people feel that it will. And so all of this can be a marketing ploy and scheme to kind of get people to start talking about him. Because, you know, Kanye went ghost for a while. After that whole debacle with, you know, him having to be psychiatrically hospitalized, which again, I think this whole Hollywood world, is a lot more going on behind the scenes, y'all. A lot more up in that matrix, right? And so him having to be psychiatrically hospitalized, I think is for more reasons than one. Anytime you see any entertainer heavily strung out on drugs, you know, having to be psychiatrically hospitalized, randomly just dying, connect the dots, y'all. Just connect the dots. But anyway, so it could be a marketing ploy scheme, but I also read deeper into things and feel like there is a darker agenda behind all of this. He's actually contradicting himself to me. When I was following Kanye's career from the time he was with his first album, College Dropout, when he used to wear Louis book bags and polo shirts, and we all were looking at him like, who is this preppy black kid in this hip-hop game talking about he a rapper, right? Until he really showed his genius level when he was working with the Rockefeller team and producing for Jay-Z. And that's really how people started to be like, there's something about this guy, right? And respecting his craft. I don't know what happened from the first album till now. I know that all artists go through growth, and you may have your moments. You're going through things. He lost his mother, but it's more to it than that, y'all. So for me, when I'm looking at the headlines, whether it's online, on social media, whether it's on the many talk shows that I watch that dissect pop culture, in my mind, it's so much more to it, y'all. It's so much more. It's more than what the eyes can see. And I think we have to wake up. We have to wake up from the matrix, y'all. We have to open our eyes and see what it really is. All of this stuff in the whole entertainment world, even in the political world, it's more contrived. It's more than you think. So I'll leave that there. Of course, stuff going on with the Me Too movement, which is actually picking up a lot of traction, which is amazing. I'm glad this is a movement that's been continuing on, growing legs that are running faster and faster. You know, now it's they getting at R. Kelly, and I've made it clear I've always been a fan of R. Kelly's music, and I even have had to, as of late, kind of fall back and be like, listen, if this man needs to be convicted of the inappropriate sexual encounters he has had with underage women, then so be it. It does get to a point where we have to separate the artist and what we love about them and what we love about their crafts from their behavior. And so if there are 20 years worth of girls, particularly black girls, girls of color, who were lured into whatever alleged sex cult and all of that jazz, then justice needs to be served. And with this Me Too movement and them putting out there that we all should put a mute on R. Kelly music, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? Take it from someone who loves his music. At the end of the day, I'll say again, I have to separate. We all have to separate, for those of us that love his craft, his music, from his behavior. And that goes for any celebrity, high profile person, whether they're an athlete. We hear this about athletes all the time, whether they're domestic violence abusers, whether, it's rape situations going on, physical, emotional abuse, whatever may have you. We have to separate them from their behavior. Them meaning what the world has learned to love about them. We have to separate that from their behavior. Wrong is wrong is wrong is wrong. And so I will be, watching to see what unfolds with this whole R. Kelly debacle. I know the world has already been greatly disappointed with the whole Bill Cosby thing that's been going on for some time now. It brings me back to even when the late, great MJ was alive. There were many, if I'm not mistaken, quite a few allegations of him sexually touching children, in inappropriate ways, I guess, sexually touching children, which is inappropriate. And so, a lot of these scandals are attached to many legends or many entertainers that we all have come to know and love, But once again, wrong is wrong is wrong is wrong. And it's just another reminder, not that I idolize people, but what I will say, I like to be a part of the conversation. We have got to stop idolizing celebrities, entertainers, people who are Instagram famous. Like, we've got to stop having this be what we look up to, what our children look up to, what the younger generations in our families look up to. Like, come on, what was it? Why do we not shed enough light and continual light on the real heroes in the world? People who, like this young man, I believe it was in the Waffle House, who was able to disarm and a shooter from going ham and killing many people. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, he's getting his shine for now, but I feel like a week later, 2 weeks later, it'll be on to the next. But then we'll hear some crazy scandal, some negative craziness, and it's like, ooh, the world will still be talking about how Black China may be pregnant by this 18-year-old boyfriend of hers, right? That will live longer than this young man who did a noble thing of putting his own life at risk to save other people. So, we've got to stop, like, making ridiculousness get so many views and so many likes and, putting all this shine, giving ridiculous behavior platforms. Like, we've got to stop doing that, y'all. Like, let's support the positivity. That's why anytime I see something on TV or I read something that is like uber positive and it resonates with me, I'm posting it. Like, I'm tired of, everybody wanting to dress like the Fashion Nova babe. No shade to them. Like, is that the only, like, first of all, don't get me started. First of all, I feel like Fashion Nova really only truly caters, their clothing only caters to the body type that you see with strippers, with the Kardashians, one type of body type, right? Boobs, tiny waist, big ass. And it's like, come on. That's one type of body out of several, and just to see all these celebrities and everybody, granted they're getting a check for it probably, but like, come on, like, I'm just over it. I'm so over it, y'all. Like, where are the real folks at? Why is it that we all want to do everything the same that everybody else is doing? Even when I look at the celebrities, how many of y'all are gonna really be like Fashion Nova babes? You know what I'm saying? Is it that serious? Like, Come up with your own clothing line, or at least do what Cardi B is doing. She has a deal with them where she's gonna make her own clothing line collaboration. Like, I'm hoping she does something way different and doesn't fall into, you know, the typical everything is tight, everything is for this particular woman. No shade to anyone who is blessed with the true hourglass body type. But let's keep it real. Most of the world is not shaped or built like that naturally. And I feel like it's having a lot of young people and even grown people, women particularly, wanting to go under the knife to look a particular way, which is to look like everybody else. Why do we need to look like what we see on TV, y'all? Can y'all help me understand that? Why do we all have to be clones of one another? Do we all have to wear the same crazy looking lace front wigs like one another? I just don't understand. You know what I'm saying? I'm annoyed half the time because at my job, in my world, nobody was wearing Faux Locs, right? And so when I stumbled on Faux Locs about 3 years ago, I'm like, oh shit, we doing something new. This is gonna be good. Save your coin. You spending too much money on them weaves, right? My husband and I made the big move and you know, progressed and paying different kind of bills out here. So I knew I needed to have a hairstyle that was going to go well with my workout life, as well as more affordable for my pockets, because I needed my money to spread for more important things like the beautiful roof, my beautiful home that you see behind me, right? And so I was like, let me get these Faux Locs. This is kind of cool. You know, it's a different kind of swag for me. Nobody was really rocking Faux Locs like that, right? Especially in my world. I know I caught on to this trend online, but even when I caught on, it wasn't like hardcore, right? It wasn't where everywhere I turned in the street, someone had this hairstyle. You know what I'm saying? Girl with the lint. And so I've noticed in the last year, maybe one young lady actually had it, but I didn't know. Hers were so natural looking and dope. I thought that they were like her actual dreads. Come to find out they weren't. And so had I've known that hers were Faux Locs, I might have been like, because I'm really not that girl that wants to look like everybody else or swagger jack everybody else. I like to do my own thing. But as of late, within this last year, last couple of months particularly, you know, it's like mad other women at my job. You know, I wear more of the goddess locks since this time last year. My brother had gotten married, and I said, you know what, let me switch it up a bit and class it up a bit, and, you know, maybe let me try the goddess locks, which is pretty much where at the end there is some kind of, you know, wave or curl pattern. It's not dreaded all the way to the end. And so I loved it and kind of have stuck with it. Now, maybe about 2-3 other chicks at my job are wearing the same hairstyle. I'm annoyed every day when I see them because it's like, why? Like, I'm not about being Bobbsey Twins or the Bobbsey triplets. Granted, they went to a different place from me. You know, mine probably look a little bit more natural, even as you can tell. I'm not trying to have, this lint's bad. This is what happens when your bonnet falls off at night. But anyway, you know, you can tell there's still a kink to mine. I particularly like that it's not this silky hair. A lot of people do, you know, Megan Good made the goddess locks very popular. Or maybe Dr. Kari, who did her goddess locks, who kind of invented them this way, you know, she put that on the map. And so even Megan Goods are not all silky smooth. You know, a lot of people that do it now, they'll spend a lot of money to make their Faux Locs silky smooth. And to me, that just defeats the whole purpose if you're wearing a dreadlock type of hairstyle to have silky smooth hair. You know, even people who have very coolly soft curl wave pattern type of hair that dread their hair, it still gets matted. It's not this silky hair. And so this is why a lot of people on a daily basis compliment me, thinking that people with dreads be complimenting me on my my goddess locks. And a lot of people actually think that this is my hair, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I go for more of the natural vibe. But I still get annoyed because it's like, I've been rocking these hairstyles for like 3 years now, 2.5 years, and it's like, really? You got a swagger jacket, girl? And then I have to stop myself by saying, Chanel, you don't own this hairstyle. You didn't invent this hairstyle. But sometimes, if I'm being honest, I've said this before, it's just annoying because it's like you can't live today in this day and age without everybody wanting to do what you do. You know what I'm saying? We can admire people, but not quite swagger jack them in a sense, you know? And so I'm just sick of what I see on social media with the whole Fashion Nova trend, which is no shade, y'all, but the clothes, I ordered a few pieces that I never really fully wore because they're sized differently. They're not true to size. And also, they're not really quality clothes. I don't care what celebrity. They could have Beyonce in the outfit from Fashion Nova. That's not going to make me want to run and spend more money on it. And then I know other people who've had to send the clothes back and they don't, you know, you got to pay the shipping and it's this whole ordeal. So it's like, you know, there's more looks to have. There are more fashion moments to have. Like, let's all be different and stop trying to always look the same and do the same things. Or because a celebrity endorses this means it has to be great. You know what I'm saying? I bought Kim K's perfume because I bought her original one. Her original perfume from years ago when the girls first came out on the scene with the reality show. And I actually genuinely liked it. So when she came out with the whole crystal KKW thing, I said, okay, after the hype was done, months later, almost maybe 6 months later, I said, let me try this. And I bought it, and I bought the one that's not the most popular. I forgot the name of this particular one. And it's okay, you know, I have better perfume. My Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue is better. My Curve Crush is way better. Like, and Curve Crush is only about $30, depending on what size you get. And so I say that to say, you know, just because they say it's great or it's these celebrities' products doesn't mean that it is great. That KKW perfume I bought can't light a candle to Curve Crush. KKW, I paid $60 for that bad boy, for the big bottle. I could get a big bottle of Curve Crush for $30. And let me tell you, I wear it every day and everybody stops me. Oh my gosh, what do you have on? To the point where, don't get mad, I'm going to buy it. Once again, that always happens to me. Not only do some of y'all want to look like me, like with the hair, but y'all want to smell like your girl. Like, you know, so I'm trying to get over myself and my narcissism at times, right? But, yes, so, you know, after a while, it's kind of just like, ugh. So I'm learning even myself, continuing to learn. Just because a celebrity endorses something or they're pushing something, it doesn't mean that it's a great product, right? Let's stop looking at them like they're like everything. They're humans who are super talented, and it just worked out for them to make it. They worked hard, whatever they went through, it worked out for them to make it. That could be any one of us, right? And this is another reason why I don't want to push to be famous or anything like that. Because that world, I don't think that's a happy world, y'all. I think they're more miserable than not. Yes, they have financial freedom, but I think they struggle with way more demons, pun intended, than not. And yeah, I don't think that's where it's at. I'm cool with like the ladies of the real, where you may recognize who I am. You know, I got me a good job. I'm making a decent coin. I'm good. Like, I don't need to be in a $20 million club. I don't need all of those kinds of things and to put myself in certain rooms where you have no idea what's really going on in these rooms behind closed doors. And just please show me a celebrity who's like a superstar that's like uber happy. Sometimes I even question Beyonce's happiness at times. You know, I think what makes her happy is her normal times in life, where she's able to create normalcy for her and her family, you know. But at the end of the day, I think certain pressures and things that even she goes through, you know, who knows? I think she handles things with amazing grace, but who still knows what this woman really goes through behind the scenes? So sometimes, you know, it ain't always worth it to be the biggest thing out there, you know? I don't know that God intended for us to like be this big thing out there where people start to idolize and worship you. Like, I don't think so, but that's just me and the Christian in me, right? So yes, those are kind of my thoughts about what's going on in pop culture. You know what I'm saying? We can't look to them and put our faith in them to be like Bill Cosby was a TV dad for people who didn't have dads in their houses. Like, you know, Bill Cosby, the character, absolutely. But the real man who played Bill Cosby, take him out of the character, out of the Cosby Show. This man, for whatever reasons, had his demons and struggles and issues, committed some wrong offenses, and is going to pay some level of consequences for it. Unfortunately, women, were put in situations that were not cool, that were not appropriate, that were detrimental, you know what I'm saying? So going back to my initial thought, we gotta get out of, we have to learn how to separate the art from the behavior, the talent from the behavior, crazy. It's just a crazy world, y'all. I think living a normal life is where it's at, right? With some level of success, whatever that means to you. But a normal life is where it's at. Less money, less problems, right? More money, more problems. Big said it best. So please, y'all, also don't get caught up in social mediaville. I say this quite a lot from time to time. It is so not real, and there's so many people perpetrating frauds, perpetrating fraudulent lives, and just to think that social media is that dangerous at times, where it could help people to sink further into depressions. It could create unnecessary jealousies and envy, just create a world of chaos and narcissism, and it's just so uncool. And as I always say, when I say that I'm having a narcissistic moment, I'm not saying I'm legit narcissist. I'm not, folks. It's just the best way that I know how to describe when I'm having that moment within myself where it's like, you shouldn't have my hairstyle. You know what I'm saying? Why you want to smell like me? But I'm not legit narcissistic. Once again, continue to check in with this website, because I'm still working on an amazing project that will be out hopefully soon. And I think that this is going to be something that you're going to see another side of me. And it may be able to help a different group of people. And so I just want to continue working hard and putting in, my time and energy in really building the Complex Simplicity brand and movement. Because like I said, I'm about spreading positivity, love, light, encouragement, empowerment, and for us to really have real conversations too. And for us to also have self-awareness out here, y'all. Very important. But thank you once again. Continue to rock out with your girl by going to complexsimplicity.com. And until next time.